This video has been created to give you, the candidate for the Program Leader Frontline Staff position, also known as PL, some insight into the position you've applied for. You will hear the qualities the employer is looking for, what to expect on the job, skills you will gain and can use as you move forward in your career, some advice from those currently holding the position, and tips on how to be successful in this job. The students in expanded learning programs have the answers on how to protect our environment, cure cancer, create music. You can be the one person at their side cheering them on.
I'm looking for someone who's dedicated, someone who has a familiarity with the community. So PLs that go above and beyond. It's the PLs that show up to work early and they're in the office and they're working on exemplars. It's the PLs that reach out to us and say, hey, thank you for providing this lesson plan, but I have this amazing idea. Would it be okay if I implement this in my class? It's the PLs that bring their natural gifts and their natural talents into the program and don't mind sharing those things with the students to make them better people.
What we're primarily looking for is somebody who wants to participate in the development and support of a young person in their growth as a human being and in their growth in terms of their educational opportunities.
You have to be relatable and likable. The majority of the students that we service are middle school students, and they vote with their feet. So if you are not relatable and likable, it's very possible you won't be able to grasp the attention and the commitment of students.
Being passionate, and that's that too, just loving what you do, coming to work and looking forward to what you're going to do with those kids, because I was just saying the kids just know if you've had a bad day, they'll just see the smile on your face, or even if you come to work, you know, I tell my staff, if you've had a bad day, once you enter the doors, leave it outside and come in and just put that happy face on, because that's what the kids, it goes on with them, it just trickles onto them, and they just want to see that.
Character is very big for a program leader. Having a big heart is very important. You're working with kids, and a lot of these kids don't get sometimes the love they need from home, so being able to be empathetic and sympathetic to the kids is very important.
Even on the best day out in the field, there's going to be a lot of obstacles, be it silly things like the gate is locked, and the gate's not supposed to be locked, to, on the opposite side of things, really having to deal with a student having a breakdown, whether it's a behavioral issue or an emotional situation or a combination of both. Having that patience, if that's not just a part of who a person is, you shouldn't be in this.
I first started out as a PL, and I decided to be a PL as I was in the credential program at my university. It was a great experience because I was able to get my very own class of students, up to 24 students, just me and them, so it really allowed me to practice different things that I was learning in the credential program right there in the classroom. And it was a good experience too, because it was a classroom that I went back to every single day.
I think program leaders could have a tremendous impact on the students that they work with. A lot of these students cling on to their program leaders real quick. They look up to them, they follow their lead. And like I said, it's important to have a program leader who has a big heart, who is very understanding, very sympathetic, empathetic, helps these students kind of build careers or ideas for careers for the future.
When you see that your students learn from you, that you're the role model, it's a huge thing. I think one thing I remember, I had a student that he couldn't bat. He was hard, but I still kept him on the team because I was like, you know, this kid has heart, he really wants to play, he's coming out here and he's trying his best. And one day during the game, he had 2 strikes, and I was like, pick up your elbow. Watch, when you pick up your elbow, you're gonna be able to hit it. So he picked up his elbow, and as soon as he picked it up and the ball was pitched, he swung and hit it, and it was a home run. And I was like that was like one of the proudest moments of my coach life, because I was like, I was able to mentor this student that didn't believe in himself and have him help him believe in himself. So I think that's something that the impact that I have on the students is one of the most important things, and probably more favorable things about my job.
We see it all the time. Our students develop these bonds with their program leaders where they become essentially a second family. And so it comes from having high expectations and setting the bar for students and holding them accountable and doing it in a way that is strict and firm, but also in a way that is authentic so that they know that it's genuine care and it's genuine concern. It's not just you writing them because you don't like them or you're picking on me. It's because you know that I can be better and you're going to make sure that I reach my full potential.
What I learned as a PW to help me move up in the organization's been actually initiative. Not waiting for my supervisor to tell me what they want from me. It was really, I got to see the program as a whole and know that if we were down staff members, I knew that I was going to be taking the initiative on signing in another group.
Classroom management, definitely. Just being able to manage a classroom. Also, how to build relationships with the students.
So some of the things I've gained working with kids is for sure patience. Patience is one thing that is just essential, whether it's with the students, the teachers, the principal, the custodians, the parents. It's just all patience. That's one thing I've learned. Another thing I've learned was just team building. A lot of team building is necessary when you're working with students. And just working with the staff, you have to have that communication and teamwork in order for the site to run properly. And I think that's very essential. No matter where you go and what job you have or with anything in your career, teamwork is going to be essential.
Some advice that I would give a future program leader is to come with an open mind. Things are not always going to go your way, and you're going to learn that it's okay. Even though it might be hard at the moment, it's going to get better. And as long as you have an open mind to know that things are not going to be the way you want, you'll be fine.
There's a lot to be learned, and every day on the job you're going to learn something. It's a lot. It goes along with teaching too. You're always learning. I don't care if you've taught 1 year or 30 years, you're still going to be learning how to be a better teacher. The same goes for our program leaders. They're always going to be learning how to be a better program leader. So I think it's really important to realize you need to try things. Sometimes things don't work out the way you think, and so you need to be able to reflect on that and change it up for next time, and be able to reflect on your own work experience and how that's going.
A lot of things aren't going to work, and that's okay. That's part of learning, definitely. I can tell you I made so many mistakes, I can't tell you how many. And the awesome thing about being a PL is that you have a lot of support and you can always go back and try something different the next day. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about being a PL is that you can always go back and try something new. And I tell my students that the same thing. It's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, nobody's perfect. And so I tell my PLs the same thing. It's okay, you can try again.
They need you to be dedicated. So this is not a job that you take until you find something else 2 months from now, because students grow attachments, students develop those bonds, and sometimes it has the ability to completely shatter them when people leave. So if this is a position that you're interested in, be in it for the long haul so that you can help motivate these students and cultivate them to be the best that they can be.
Be ready 100% physically and mentally to invest yourself on their lives, but this is on a daily basis, you know, and having the love for the job and the students will make it so much easier. It is one of the most rewarding jobs that anybody can have.
I think being inconsiderate of our time and our resources, so PLs that know that they have things that are coming up, but they don't tell you ahead of time. They'll wait until 2 o'clock and say, hey, I can't come in, something came up, when they know that program starts at 2:45. And at that point, it's just a wash. You can't get anyone else in. That's my biggest pet peeve. I'd rather have a PL that is open and honest and that can communicate, hey, this is coming up, because at the end of the day, we understand that people have lives outside of work. And so as Celerity, we want to be as accommodating as we can be and as supportive. We know that people are students. We know that they have families.
I would say the most important thing is if somebody is not compassionate, and if someone is not willing to put themselves in the position of the child or children or young people or students that they're working with, if they can't figure out that it's not about them and it's about the success of the children more than anything, then that would cause me some hesitation on whether or not it's the job for them to continue with. And it doesn't mean that they're not good people, it just means that it's maybe not the job for them.
So over the years, I did have, unfortunately, as I think everybody else does, that program leader that comes and they have no passion, obviously, for students, for their work. I think some people just come for a paycheck, and you can see it because that person, instead of being actively supervising, they're sitting down, or they're texting on their phone, or trying to call, or going to the restroom for 15, 20 minutes, or saying, you know what, not now. No, don't talk to me. You know, things like that also bother me. I don't really think that a person like that should be working for an after-school program.
There were some really key people throughout my life that impacted me and the work that I do. And when I came to after school, I felt committed because I felt like I wanted to give back. I wanted to share that experience with other people. That was my why. You have to be clear in this work why you're doing it.
The best part is when the other kids that already graduated come back. The kids who have careers come back. Kids that want to give back to you because they come and tell you, thank you to you. I've gone to school because of you. I've done this because of you. You were the first one that gave me all these opportunities. And I think that's the big things where now a lot of those other students are now just not my students, they're my friends.
Focus on the quality and the students will come, they'll see it. The best way to get the word out about your activity is not a flyer or an announcement. It's other students talking about that activity. It's other students talking to their friends and come check this out with me. That's the most effective.
I would say never give up as a program leader. I think one of the goals any program leader should come into expanded learning with is, oh, one day maybe I want to be a site coordinator. And I think that's a good, ambitious goal to have because all program leaders could potentially become site coordinators. And from there on, the sky's the limit.
This is a great stepping stone for young individuals who are just getting into the job market and had students who became our PLs who became our site coordinators, and site coordinators who have become management. So there's a lot of movement that can happen in these jobs, and I really feel like it's just a great experience. We have a lot of our PLs that are going out to become teachers now, and most of the time they're getting the jobs they're applying for right off the bat because in the interview process they can answer the questions. They've already dealt with classroom management. They have had these experiences already.
If you're considering becoming a teacher or if you just love working with kids, this is definitely the job for you. It's very good and it's a fun environment. You get to show those skills and those things that you learn and acquired over your school years, or if you're in college, this is like a perfect job for you.
My experience as a PL definitely made a huge impact on who I am today and the teacher that I've become. And even for PLs that don't want to be teachers, it's still a great experience and it gives you lifelong skills that you can take anywhere.
Because you're not just working with students, you're working with their parents, you're working with admin, you're working with the entire school, and you're also working with their personalities. They're trying to find themselves right now. And so I tell them, you have to have it. You have to have it in you and you have to have passion.
It's a good first step into the school so that you can see the way it operates and use it as a catalyst to step into other positions.
Never underestimate the difference you can make in the lives of others. Step forward, reach out, and help.